Welcome back to Every Kind of I Do. I'm Jen, and I'm here to talk to you about my weirdo love stories, the couples who do things their own way, and all the moments I get to photograph in between all that. It's also for anyone planning your own wedding, planning your own event. It's for the wedding pros of the world who just want to see things differently or look at some ideas. This is for everybody, honestly. So every kind of I do is here to meet a couple of creative needs and also tell amazing love stories. So hey, let's get into it. Now, I titled this one, What in the World is Wrong with This Chapel? Mostly because you probably haven't been introduced specifically and intentionally with Lizzy Gator yet. So, up here in North Texas, we have this very unique space. It's a venue space that you can have any kind of event there. But what I want to talk to you about is what is wrong with this chapel? And I'm going to just start with this lead graphic here because I have a photo of the couple. They're just newly married, and we're doing a photo session right near the chapel space. And during the pandemic, Lizzie and Chris built this chapel from the ground up with the idea where it's this Cat in the Hat meets Tim Burton vibe to it. And so this kind of chapel kind of like lends you to do several different things or possibly theme weddings here. But also they recognize this, we'll call them the normies. There's a whole bunch of people that just want a space to get married and they want something unique and different. And this chapel is built specifically for the unique and different experience. So let's get into it, shall we? What is wrong with this chapel? Actually, there is nothing wrong with this chapel, but I needed to name this episode something. So we're going to get into this wedding that was out here at Lizzy Gator. Let's go. Okay, so I'm going to start with the details here because this bouquet was full of bright colors and many crystals, lots of crystals in there. Many as in M-A-N-Y, not M-I-N-E, M-I-N-I. Many crystals inside of this bouquet. And I loved that it had this very beautiful combination of, nature elements in different textures. So you'll see big floofy flowers. You see these bright hot pink flowers with these little miniature ones. I don't know the name of every flower, so I cannot tell you what they are, but you can look at the photo and get kind of an idea of the textures that were in here. And I wanted to highlight the fact also that these boots sitting here on the bench, if you look closely enough or far away, you can kind of see there is multiple skulls happening on these little cowboy boots. So we kind of went with this you know, country vibe meets Halloween meets it's the summer solstice, it's the longest day of the year. So you have many different concepts going on here at one time, but I think they did it so well that that's why I found it hard to pick what am I going to talk about today because it's like how many different things should I talk about? So you have all these wonderful things that are meshed together that I feel like work very well. So we're going to get into it some more here with this chapel and out here at Lizzy Gator, what happened. So this is a very wonderful closer up version of, let me move out of the way here so you can see her flowers. So she's holding the flowers. We've got a matching boutonniere, right? We've got crystals of all different kinds of color tones going on. But if you'll notice, there's a black wedding dress happening here. This is very much a darker toned and themed wedding, but it's in the summer solstice. So I'm letting you know that it doesn't matter necessarily what season you're in. You can actually make it the season that you want to be in. And that could look any way. Like it could be in your color tone, it could be in your decor that you've chosen for whatever season or holiday season, even. But we all know that seasons really do resonate with many couples as you are out there designing and conceptualizing what you want to do for your wedding day. And as you can see, this wonderful chapel back here, the sun is setting over here, so you can kind of see like the glow of the lights on the chapel there. And all of these handmade benches that are already here on site with all the metalwork and the landscaping that they've put together on site, you can kind of see how it lends to this different feel. And couples just kind of want to like want to be in a place that lends itself to very unique style, but also it's considered like basically a destination because North Dallas, you gotta get up there, you gotta drive up there. But I gotta tell you, this is the only thing that exists. I don't think anywhere. I don't think I've seen this anywhere else. But in the state of Texas, this is one of the most unique buildings you will see specifically for weddings and events. It's pretty awesome. And I know they're still like adding things to the space, so it's always evolving and growing. Much like your ideas for your weddings, they tend to evolve and grow as you go along. And then you get to the final day where you're like, "Oh my God, what's going to happen?" And then everything starts to come together and you're just super, super, super excited. But this is one space where creativity is very welcome here, and every couple is welcome. No matter how weird or thematic you are, it's for everyone. And this is what I love about this space. But okay, so we're going to touch on the cake a little bit here. So there was a lot of things happening in the reception space, but I do have to touch on the fact that the cake was this interesting duality of flowers, but also it's a naked cake. So you don't have like a ton of frosting detail. It's got the naked cake detail. And then you have this very interesting little drippy pattern. Shall I say that? It's a drippy pattern. It is a blood red dripping pattern on the both tiers. It is a extremely tall top tier with a shorter, squatty lower tier. And then it's also accented with more muted tones of flowers. And then up top, their cake topper is kind of like this modernistic geometrical shape with it's see-through, but their names are like monogrammed on there, kind of a thing. And it's put together on the dessert table. So there wasn't just a wedding cake, there was like a lot of desserts as well. So at the very, very front of this picture, you can kind of see a little bit of cookies. So there was definitely some cookies on this table, and let me tell you, they were all very yummy. And so this is something else to think about seasonally. Like, don't always think you have to go exact with the season that you're in, but why don't you take the things that you love and then mesh them into your day? Like if you want to have darker tones, lighter tones, if you want to have crystals, if you want to have flowers, if you want to have faux flowers and real flowers, if you want to have dead flowers, that is not a bad thing. That is a thing. So I would think that, once you get to your cake and you're ready to eat, hey, this is a great space. And indoors here, this is a highlighted. I feel like the cake topper kind of mimics the chapel a little bit too. Like I know they didn't mean to do that, but the chapel being so twisted and quirky, I love the fact that they let their cake topper also be twisted and quirky. So I hope to see you on the next episode, and thank you so much for listening today for this little bit of quirkiness over here in North Texas. That quirky little twisted chapel up in Pilot Point, Texas with Lizzy Gator. You can go check that out in the show notes. I will link it there. But also, feel free to get out there and remember, there's no specific right way to do an I do. Just go do the I do. Talk to you soon.